In this example, you're going to learn about form data tables. When you create a form definition and then create form instances based on that definition, let's say you routed the form to multiple people and you create hundreds, thousands of form instances, that data is internally stored within Flowrite, where we store it in a format that is easily accessible to us. And the data is really not accessible to you to do reporting or to do dashboarding or even to use other tools to connect to that data. So what you can do is you can design a form and you can associate a form data table. And let me show you how to do that. So we're going to go ahead and build a form, and let's go ahead and create a new form, and let's call this form our employee data form. And in this form, I'm going to go ahead and put a bootstrap grid. And let's put a label control and text box. And let's duplicate this row. So in this case, we're going to give it first name. We're going to call last name. And let's call this field txt first name and txt last name. Let's just add another row and we'll put a submit button. We'll call it submit employee info. All right, now that we have this particular form, let me go and hide the board also. And let's save it and let's go ahead and preview this. So now we have a little form that captures first name and last name. So we can create any number of instances from this. So let's go ahead and associate this with a data table. So anytime we create any form instance from that and we enter data, then that data should flow automatically into the data table. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to actions and we're going to go into data table. As you can see, we need a new data table. Here it will also show you any other data tables we have. So we're going to give a name for the data table. So we're going to call it employee data. And if you say add, you will see it automatically adds the controls for us. So you can see these particular fields are automatically added, and you will also see txt first name and also txt last name within this. So, and if you go and add extra fields into the form, this table structure will get automatically updated also. So let's go ahead and create a form instance. So we're going to go to our run and form instances. And let's create a form instance based on this employee data form. I'm going to say generate and say create. So we have a new form instance. I'm going to go ahead and edit this form instance. And I'm going to give a name. First name is Roy and last name is Vijay. And I'm going to go ahead and submit this form. So the data is submitted and this form now has the data. I can also now go and view this data in the data table. So if I go back into this if I go into create and look at data tables, you will see I have a data table with one record called form data underscore employee data. And if I click on it, you will see the information for the first record. So first name is Roy, last name is Vijay. Okay. So we can also go and let's make a change to this data. So I'm going to go back to my form instances. And let's go and modify this form instance. I'm going to say, oh, it just rendered the form instance, but I want to be able to edit this. I'm going to say edit, and I'm going to change from Roy to Dana. And I'm going to submit this info. And if we look at this particular form data table now, still has one record, but if you look at the data, the first name is changed to Dana and the last name is same. So let's go ahead and create another form instance. And if we edit this, let's put Mark Anthony and submit this info. Now we should have two records in that data table. And we can, of course, go to our create and data tables and look at the table. So you can see there are two records. And I can click on this and I can see each record. So if I look at this, this is Dana Vijay. If I click on this, this is Mark Anthony. Now we can also query this. So I'm going to copy this table name. And I'm going to go to our SQL query tool. So let's go to status. And actually, it's under administration. We're going to go to administration tools. So under tools, we want to go into the SQL query tool. So we're going to select the local connection. And I can also say select star from the table name that I copied. And if I run this query, you can see the data coming back. So in this case, I asked to show all the fields. So in this case, I'm going to just select txt first name and txt last name as columns I want to see. And let's run the query. And you can see we see Dana Vijay and Mark Anthony. And you can now use this data that's sitting in the data table in various dashboard widgets, reporting, in workflow processes, wherever you want within, including forms. There might be other forms that might pull this data or calculate based on data, and display certain value. All that can be done using these form data tables. Thank you for watching the video.